I was on holiday recently and saw this flag. I, as a self-proclaimed vexillologist, had a seizure. Just look at this. I can see you trying to merge the UK and Hong Kong flag together, but come on, what is that?
Holy Jesus. What is that? What the fuck is that?
And why is it black? The UK flag has white unless there's a country I'm missing here? I'm sure there must be a better way to combine these two flags. Well, I'm here to tell you there is, and that's exactly what this video is about. Now, a combination flag, in my opinion, should do two things. One, not cause eye cancer, and two, people looking at it should be semi-easily able to tell which two flags this combination is made out of. In this case, the UK and Hong Kong. Now, let's take another look at the flags so we know what we can improve. Oh god, never mind. Put it away. I'd rather look at Donald J. Trump's naked ass than look at this one more time. The presidential cake, am I right? Anyway, where was I? Right, combining these two flags. Now you may be asking, how am I going to do that? Well, before I explain that to you, I want to have a look at both meanings of both flags, starting with the Union Jack. Now you may know the Union Jack is made out of 3 crosses: St. Andrew's Cross, St. George's Cross, and St. Patrick's Cross. Now these crosses represent England, Scotland, and Northern Ireland respectively, sorry Wales, and these are then put together like so, and bada bing bada boom, you got yourself a Union Jack. Now let's look at the Hong Kong flag. To simplify, the lotus flower on this flag is called the Bohenia, or in Chinese, the Yangtze, and it was discovered in what is now modern day Hong Kong. So the lotus flower represents Hong Kong. Then there are also the 5 stars on each petal to symbolize the 5 stars on the Chinese flag. The red is also here to symbolize the linkage between China and Hong Kong, as it is literally the same shade of red, well, officially. And the red-white positioning represents the one country, two systems principle in China, which basically means Hong Kong and Macau are part of China but operate slightly different. Anyway, let's move on with the design. Now, instead of making one design, I'll be making 3. And afterwards, you can vote for your favorite in the poll, after this video, of course. Now, let's start with my first idea, which is the UK flag in the Hong Kong flag format. Let me explain. So the symbols in the lotus flower, so the 5 stars, and the background in the Hong Kong flag both represent the linkage between Hong Kong and China. So if I change those to make them more British, then I technically fit the British flag in the Hong Kong format. I'm going to explain more later on after this short time lapse of me making the flag. Right, are you ready to see the flag? Of course you are. Here it is. Beautiful, isn't it? Now, first of all, I changed the background to the British blue with a stripe to represent the British flag. Then if you look closer in the lotus flower, I changed the 5 stars to a St. Andrew's Cross, a St. George's Cross, and a St. Patrick's Cross to represent the 3 crosses on the British flag. And also Northern Ireland, England, and Scotland. Sorry, Wales. And on the bottom 2, you can see 2 crowns. Those are mainly there to just symbolize British monarchy and also to fill it up because it looked kind of empty. And that's basically it. Now my second idea is the opposite. The Hong Kong flag in the UK format. I'm gonna be honest, this was the easiest one to make. I mean, the UK flag is literally just 3 crosses on top of each other. So all I had to do was add a flower on top of it again. I mean, I did try to see if I could put the flower underneath the St. George's Cross, since I think England is the most dominant country in the UK. But that would be too complicated and it would just not work. So yeah, I mean, here's the flag. It's really simple. There's nothing much to say about it. It's 3 crosses and then a flower on top. That's probably my least favorite design out of the 3, so we'll just move on with the third one. Now my third idea is a little more out of the box. It's literally just combining the flag as I will. Now, let me explain. So originally I wanted to replace the 4 diagonal stripes on the British flag with the petals of the Hong Kong flower and then just draw a red stripe in it. The problem with that is then you would only have 4 petals of the Hong Kong flower instead of 5. And 2, it looks like utter horseshit, so I think I'll be scrapping that idea. Instead what I did is I replaced the top of the vertical stripe with a Hong Kong petal. And then I kind of drew a Hong Kong petal into each vertical one instead of just replacing it entirely. Now please enjoy this 30-second time lapse of me making the flag. You can skip it, of course. Now, are you ready to see the flag? Of course you are. Here it is. Beautiful, isn't it? Now let me talk you through it a bit. So like I mentioned earlier, I replaced the top half of the vertical stripe with a lotus flower petal, and I added the other 4 lotus flower petals on the diagonal stripes. And I thought it looked sick if I make them half white and half red depending on what they're on. And I gotta say, it looks sick. And what I like about it is if you put the lotus flower on top of it, you can still kind of see the circle or pentagon that it forms. Now the only downside of this flag I can imagine is you won't directly see that it's a Hong Kong UK flag mixed from afar. If you're close, you probably can tell it, assuming you know what the Hong Kong flag looks like, which surprisingly not many people do. But then again, it's not a UN recognized country, so it's kind of understandable. Anyway, that was it with the video. Thank you so much for watching. I apologize if it was kind of hard to follow. I just saw this flag on vacation and I got really nerdy and wanted to redesign it for a video. Thank you so much for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. By the way, go answer on this poll. I need help for my next video. Thank you.